Becky.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about just a few of the books that we are excited to read coming out in September of 2021. I almost said August of 2021. I'm like, my brain is so muddled. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I get that. School's starting for us next week, so I'm preparing, battening down the hatches.
And I feel like we had a real summer, but I feel like it went so fast. Like I'm like, when is 4th of July? Oh, right, like 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so what's the first book you're excited about?
So my first book is it's called The Other Merlin by Robyn Schneider. It comes out September 21st. I love Robyn Schneider's books. She wrote the one I can't think of titles.
All I remember is the decapitation.
Right. She wrote the one about the guy who was on was it a roller coaster at Disneyland?
Basically.
And somebody stood up and got decapitated and like the head like hit him. And that was like the beginning of the trauma. But I love her characters, and like they're always like there's like this funny snarkiness, and I just enjoy them. Beginning of everything, it says it because on this picture it says best-selling author of the beginning of everything. But every time I pick up one of her books, I'm never disappointed. Like I know what I'm gonna get. And her plots are so like they're quirky, but they make sense. And she's got these strong characters. Her new book is a retelling of the King Arthur's myth, and it is about Merlin's daughter, Emery, who they want her brother, because for something happens to Merlin, and her brother was supposed to go, but her brother's kind of a screw up. And so Emery goes, and it's just the Arthur legend, but through her eyes, and she gets like embedded in palace intrigue and all that stuff. And then I'm a big fan of King Arthur retellings, but I'm also
You like palace intrigue
fun.
books.
I'm sorry.
You like palace intrigue books too.
I do like palace intrigue books, but I think it's because I watched Sword in the Stone so much as a kid. I'm just like really like any King Arthur, I'm all in. So I'm excited.
Okay. My first one is called Defy the Night by Brigid Kemmerer. And it's coming out September 14th. And we all know that I absolutely love Brigid Kemmerer. Like, I love her fantasy. I love her realistic fiction. I think her plots are fast-paced and interesting. I love her characters. So this is going to be another fantasy book. And basically, it's about a sickness that's sweeping the world. And the apothecary is trying to find the cures for it. There's only like one plant that cures it, and there's not a lot of it. And basically, along the way to kind of try to stop this sickness, she finds that the prince is a dastardly prince, and so she must stop the ruling class. But it just sounds, especially like in the wake of COVID, I feel like I want a fantasy version of a sickness sweeping the land where everything ends up peaches and roses. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's going to be a happy ending because there has to be. And if she doesn't give me a happy ending, I'll be sad, but I feel like she will.
So I had a kid come in the other day, and every time a kid comes in and looks for historical fiction, we go to like the historical fiction books, and they're all like, yellow fever, Spanish flu, and they kind of look at me, and I'm like, I'm sure we have something here that's a little less relevant to today. So anyway, yeah. So my second book is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. It comes out September 28th. This is the last book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which we read and loved. Holly Jackson, I believe this is her first book series. She's just got like such a strong voice. Like, I think it's really hard to write a mystery that's believable, but fully unexpected and twisty and turny. And I feel like I don't automatically see where her stuff is going.
I agree.
And this one is Pip's final story, and she gets pulled into a new mystery, and there's dangers and intrigues, and I want to know what happens. I want to read her books. I wish that they hadn't Americanized them and had just left them in England, because that's a little distracting. But other than that, like, I know it's going to be a good mystery. I know it's going to be like a fun read, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's exciting. I'm excited for that one too.
Yeah.
But my second book is actually called So Many Beginnings, A Little Woman Remix by Brittany C. Morrow. It's coming out September 7th. And so this is part of a new series that they're starting where they're remixing classic books with African American main characters, which I think is a great thing that they're doing. And so this one is basically just taking the March sisters and putting them into kind of the African American version of it, as far as, you know, the enslaved people have been emancipated, and so what their lives look like after that, and how they're living, existing afterwards, and just, you know, the typical family intrigue, you know, I mean, you've got your Joe, your Meg, your Amy,
It's Little Women,
I mean, it's Little Women.
right? Yeah.
Day in the life.
Meg
So,
wants to get married and start a family. Joe wants to like
right.
live by her pen. And Beth, you know,
Is Beth.
don't get too attached to Beth.
Ever.
Ever. If you pick up a copy of any kind of adaptation of Little Women and you think Beth's your favorite character, pull back. And then and it's true. And then yeah, Amy's being Amy, so
is annoying as ever.
right.
Though she's less annoying in this version, I think.
So my final book that I'm excited about comes out September 28th. It's called Time Will Tell by Barry Lyga. I loved Barry Lyga's I Hunt Killers series. I actually book talked them for a job interview that I got the job. And it's
forever your favorite.
That helps. But I remember like I was describing it to a kid, like a kid had come in and was looking for a mystery, and I had been on break, so somebody else was doing it. And I came back and they were like, oh, you know, it's kind of, and like they had like 3 or 4 books that they were iffy about. And I described I Hunt Killers, and they're like, no, that sounds good. And if you really want a disturbing mystery, read I Hunt Killers, but that's not what we're talking about now. This one's called Time Will Tell, again by Barry Lyga, and it's like kind of a dual narrative. So it's about a group of kids in modern day who are like 16, 17, and they dig up a time capsule that their parents had buried. And mixed in there, you know, you've got like your cassette tapes, and you've got like, I don't know, bumper stickers from the 80s. There's also like a bloody knife and a note that said, I didn't mean to kill anyone. And so, yeah. So now they have to figure out what's up with that. And there are people who don't want anybody to figure out what's up with that. And so mysteries and murder ensue. And the cover is creepy and awesome.
That's awesome. So speaking of awesome covers, White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson is my next one. And this cover is gorgeous. And this one's coming out September 14th. It's said to be a read-alike to Get Out and A House on Haunted Hill. So basically the main character is running away from ghosts of her past to move to this new town in, you know, suburbia. I think kind of suburbia. Anyway, she's living with her younger stepsister, and now she's got to deal with actual ghosts, it sounds like, because things are going bump in the night and things are moving that shouldn't be moving. And
I was going to ask literal or figurative at the beginning. Okay. Ghosts, literal,
literal. And the younger sister is talking to an imaginary friend who doesn't like the main character. So I'm just super excited for this scary good time.
Interesting. That does sound interesting. So those are just a few of the books that we're excited about that are coming out in September of 2021. If there's something that we missed that you think we should know about, drop it in the comments and let us know.
All right. See you around.
Bye.